ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in tonight. It is round 16 live here on Start Your Systems of MotoOption. Ends up in fourth in this one. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in. It is round 17 of the 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series live here on Start Your Systems. Hello, everyone. My name is Kellen Brower, bringing you guys the action tonight from Salt Lake City 2 as we close the curtain on this MotoOption Supercross season, the 11th year running of this championship. And boy, has this been a fabulous championship to watch in all classes. We've already got a 250 West title wrapped up, but a 250 East title still for grabs. And the 450 class, maybe the one that's still the most up for grabs, though. It does seem like it's been a little bit already put to bed by that point, but we'll get to that storyline a little bit later on. But I want to thank all of you fans for tuning in every single week so far this year that we've had this series and bringing the action here tonight, I guess, for round 17 to close the curtain on the championship. I also want to remind everybody down in the chat, MotoOption Clothing is doing another swag pack giveaway tonight. We're going to pick the winner of that later on. It's going to close at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So get down into the description and click on the link, get involved, and you might be going home with a swag pack from MotoOption tonight as they close the curtain with us as well on this championship. So thank you so much, MotoOption, for being on board with that. Let's get to some of these storylines, though, and we'll go ahead and start off by talking about qualifying for tonight's race, which commenced for the last hour or so. And in the 450 class, it looks like Tyler Lang has qualified fastest for tonight's Salt Lake City 2 Supercross on a 44.8, just ahead of Leitzel, Leclerc, Seabold, and Carter. Of course, Leclerc and Carter, I should say, your two guys going for the championship. They're separated by just 0.2 of a second in qualifying. Now, we did appear to have two different split qualifying sessions for East and West, so the showdown is going to be happening here tonight. Looks like Colby Eaglin going to try to win his second consecutive 250 East Championship here tonight. Has qualified fastest in the East side with a 45.8. They will have individual heat races as well, but we'll get into a little bit more of that later. While Payson Johnson, your newly crowned West champion, goes fastest there on the West side with a 45.3, almost a full second faster than Trevor Burns, who was the winner last time out when these guys raced at Atlanta 3 a couple weeks back. So been a little bit since we've seen these guys, but obviously they're going to battle tonight with those 250 guys. But let's get to the real storyline tonight, which is champions potentially being crowned. And there is only 2 riders left alive in both the 450 and the 250 East division, and it's Carter and Leclerc in this 450 class, separated by 17 points. And so the way that breaks down, basically, if Carter basically just finishes 13th or better tonight, no matter what Leclerc does, Carter will be your champion. On the flip side of that, if Leclerc cannot manage to get into the top 5, no matter what Carter does, Carter will be your champion here tonight. There's a lot more math involved with it and tiebreakers that we'll get into a little bit later on as well. But in this 250 East class, it's pretty much just Eaglin make it into the main, and he's your champion. He's got a 25-point lead in this championship. You score 1 point for finishing dead last in the race, so even if Hubbard can win with an Eaglin P22 finish in the main event, he would still tie Hubbard and have the tiebreaker on most wins this year with 5 compared to Hubbard's 1. So in that sense, it's pretty much just Eaglin make it into the main and he's good to go. We already know that Payson Johnson has clinched it on the West. So let's get things kicked off and hopefully start some racing here tonight in Salt Lake City. I'll try to get a little bit of the track shown for you guys here real quick as well, if I can. And again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here tonight. It's the same track that we saw in the real Salt Lake City too, just over the weekend. Long start straight all the way down to the other end of the stadium, and out of this first corner there's like a little step jump coming out of this first corner, so you'll see guys do that right there where they kind of like jump up into the gap, then triple onto the table off, or I'm sorry, quad onto the table off, and then there's a split line here. You can either go over table double into this Supercross triple, or you can also jump onto the table and try to triple off over the little roller that remains. Out of this corner you're going to double into this section and then go triple and triple into the corner over here on this side. And there is even the little like lip built up alongside the mechanics area right there as we kind of hit the side of it into the finish line jump. Just a pretty standard finish line jump this week out of a left-hand 90-degree corner. Then the lone set of whoops. It's a pretty short set of whoops. It's not too tricky. It seems like it's pretty small this week for this particular event. And then the double triple, and then you're going to swing around out of this corner and come back down the start straight. And that is a lap here tonight at Salt Lake City 2 as we get ready to go racing here for the finale of round 17 tonight here. MotoOption Supercross ready to close the book on another terrific season as we overlook Rice-Eccles Stadium here in Salt Lake City. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in here every night, every week that we've been doing these events, and good to see we've already got a lot of people in chat. Agra6na, thank you so much for the €10 donation. As always, I very much appreciate that coming through. And also want to remind you guys again about that MotoOption giveaway, a hat, shirt, and sunglasses swag pack. So visit startyoursystems.com/giveaways to be entered into that. You get 1 entry each, and we'll announce the winner a little bit later on tonight, probably after the last chance qualifiers go down. But it looks like we're about ready to get things kicked off. Looks like they maybe are still grabbing scripts right now, so I'm going to go ahead and try to set something up real quick here so that I can make sure I have it set up and ready to go here. Here we are. But so we jump back into the server. Yeah, we can talk a little bit more about that math in the 450 class here tonight. So it's going to be pretty simple to follow. The tiebreaker is, of course, wins. So if Leclerc wins tonight and Carter finishes 14th or worse, if he finishes 14th, it's a tie. Leclerc will get his 5th win of the season compared to Carter's 4th. And that would give Leclerc the tiebreaker to win his 2nd MotoOption Supercross title, and Carter tonight is going for his 1st. And you'll want to stick around after the race as well, as I have lined up with either Leclerc or Carter, whichever of the two wins the title tonight. We're going to be doing a post-race chat, a post-championship clinching chat with the newly crowned MotoOption Supercross champion, so you'll want to stick around for that. But yeah, again, if Leclerc wins and Carter finishes 14th or worse, Leclerc is your champion. A Leclerc 2nd with a Carter 17th and worse, Leclerc again would be your champion. A Leclerc podium finishing on 3rd with a Carter 19th or worse would be a Leclerc champion. Leclerc finishes 4th and Carter finishes 21st or worse, and Leclerc would be your champion. And if Leclerc finished inside of the top 5 and Carter didn't make the main or finished dead last, then of course Leclerc would be your champion as well. So I think the biggest storyline that we're going to need to watch out in terms of Carter and this Leclerc dynamic tonight is whether or not Braden Carter can at least just make it into the main event. We've seen this year already a couple of instances where not just Carter, but riders like Leclerc, riders like Jeremy Seabolt have struggled to make it into the main events. And the fortunate side is, as you're seeing here load up right now, there's only going to be 14 and 13 riders respectively in the heat races. And in the one specifically Carter is in, there's only 14 riders. But I'm also noticing that Carter is going to be lined up in the heat race with Leclerc. So Leclerc could do some funny business. I'm not 100% sure that's what will happen, but you never know with these guys. Heat of the battle going to the first corner. We could see what happened with Hunter Lawrence and Justin Cooper on the weekend happen here tonight between Carter and Leclerc. But the 450 class will be coming up a little bit later on. Of course, we're going to jump into the 250 class right now, and it looks like 250 Supercross heat number 1 will actually be our West heat race, including our now newly crowned champion Payson Johnson, as he brings the 1W here tonight to go racing inside of Salt Lake City. Well, strap in, ladies and gentlemen, and sit back and enjoy the show. We have got 4 heat races, 2 LCQs, and 2 main events headed your way, and 250 West heat race. The first 250 heat race of the night tonight is brought to you by MXS Lobby. MXS Lobby provides and sells quality MX Simulator servers with a custom dashboard and many requested features. MXS Lobby constantly evolves to what users want. Get one today and start racing with others over at mxslobby.com. And we thank, of course, all of our sponsors that have been on board with us all year long here for MotoOption Supercross, the 11th year running of MotoOption Supercross. Kind of crazy that we are still getting after it. For those of you that might be new here tonight, I'm not sure how many of you guys in chat are hanging out and new. 11th year that MotoOption has been the title sponsor of this series, but it is the 12th year that the Supercross series has been ran in MX Simulator. We've obviously seen a multitude of champions, 250 and 450 champions alike. A lot of race winners have gone through the gamut as well, and now we're wrapping up our 12th season of pro Supercross racing in this game. These are all real competitors all across the world racing each other in this online server against one another in this very challenging, yet sometimes often very rewarding game known as MX Simulator, which was released in 2008. So we're going to get a little reconnect to the server real quick, and we are about to get racing here tonight in Salt Lake City, as we see our 250 West runners out there. And top 9 will go through out of this one. They're on a parade lap right now. Shout out to everybody hanging out in chat here tonight. We got Juan Fontes. We got Chase Wingelman. We got Spencer Schmucker. We got Byron Downen. He's here. He's a former champion of this series. Garrett 33. Wilson Fleming is up in the house. What's up? Flemdog. Talon Brown. We got Seth Downs. We have got the Reed 34. First Turn Films. Jacob's here tonight. Who else am I missing? We got Moto Maddox is here. Ethan Holland, Reed Plays, Misael Gaming, Tiny DJ, Devin Davis with a $10 donation. Thank you so much, Devin. Have a great night of streaming, Kellen. Let's go, Braden Carter. So he's obviously cheering for Braden Carter here tonight in the action. More of you guys rolling through. Typort, CB Gaming 72, aka Chandler Bloxham. MC Andy Williams. We got Mace 629, Michael Purcell. We've got Zane Donardo, Certified Senders. Andrew Maroney's here tonight. I got his jersey literally on the wall right behind me. Look at this. Andrew Maroney hanging out in chat. And his lovely jersey right here on the wall. And it's even signed. Thank you, Maroney, for the lovely gift that I hold so cherished in my studio here as we get ready to load in for 250 West heat race action. This is going to be 250 heat number 1 here in Salt Lake City. We're going to see who can make it through out of this one. Remember, it is the top 9 riders transferring to the main event. It's 250 West heat race action in Salt Lake City. Looks Looks like it's coming up the inside, and Bryce Whelan gets to the corner first on the 25, but up the inside of him comes Jaden Wilson on the Covenant number 65. Wilson is still looking for his first career Supercross win. He was hoping to get it at the last time out in Atlanta 3, but that went to Trevor Burns. And speaking of Trevor Burns, he's side by side with his teammate Payson Johnson on that 1W, as Johnson now running the fresh number 1 plate on that Panini Motorsports Yamaha. They're running a little bit of a white gold theme here tonight. And you're going to see that Johnson's already closing up here on Jaden Wilson as everybody funnels through on the first lap. Look at Johnson trying to slice back up underneath, and his teammate Burns hustling it in right behind him. So they go into the whoops, and to the outside, Johnson goes inside Burns, and they're all going to funnel in alongside. Johnson trying to go to the outside here, and Wilson chops it off, but Johnson squares the corner off very nicely, and he is going to take over the race lead. Trevor Burns trying to go to the outside in the first turn around Jaden Wilson, not able to quite get there, and Johnson with the tire tab line into the rhythm section goes tire tab double, triple quad onto the table off, and he is already setting sail out front. Jaden Wilson in second. Trevor Burns is right there in third. And a shout out to Monkey Man Racing in chat for the $1 donation, as we have done 1 lap here, and this is a 6-minute plus 1 lap event here for 250 West heat race action in Salt Lake City. It's John Heilman back here in 4th with Bryce Whelan right there in 5th. Braden Tharp runs in 6th with Alec Horn in 7th. Seth Crotty is in 8th, and Neil Fitzpatrick is in our final transfer spot here after 2 laps. He's got Luke Sullivan on the number 18 Team Nami machine right behind him, and going down off the track there is Alec Horn as he goes flying over the Davalos bales and into the Steve Mathis Memorial nets there. So Horn going to lose several positions, and that would now promote... I thought that would promote Sullivan into the final transfer spot, but looks like Sullivan went down as well. So resetting it again, it's Johnson out front from Wilson, and how about this battle for second? Trevor Burns is all over Jaden Wilson. Some newfound confidence for the number 50 rider, your winner at Atlanta 3 for the first time in his career. See if he can get a drive in the whoops. He has been pressuring Jaden Wilson here. Wilson getting a little kick left and right in the whoops, but actually, at least momentarily, opening up a bit of a gap now on Burns and trying to keep tabs on your race leader, Payson Johnson. We'll get back to this battle in a moment. It's John Heilman still in 3rd with Whelan right behind him. I'm sorry, in 4th with Whelan in 5th. Braden Tharp in 6th. Seth Crotty 7th. Fitzpatrick 8th. And Frank Jackson, I should say. That is not Luke Sullivan, so maybe that was Jackson the whole time. But Jackson now moves into the final transfer spot, and he's going to close right up onto the back door there of Seth Crotty as Fitzpatrick got around the Proline Designs machine here. These guys all funneling in, and you can see in the background there is Dylan Cavacuti on the 94 Moto Playground gas effort. So this is 10th right now. He is trying to close this down and get up for this battle as Frank Jackson gets hucked around in the whoops, and we got a rider up in the Davalos bales there. That was Braden Tharp on the EVP 415. That is going to cost him a transfer spot. Tharp goes up the inside of Cavacuti, but cannot quite get up in there fast enough. So Cavacuti now goes into that 9th and final transfer spot, just past the halfway mark of this race. Cavacuti now opening up a bit of a gap. Peek back out front and check in on our race leader, Payson Johnson, as he completes the 5th lap of the race onto the 6th lap. Johnson's still putting down hot laps here, and he is actually on a couple riders here, so he's already hit some lap traffic here after only 5 laps. I wonder if we're going to see lappers become much of a problem here tonight, because this is going to be the best of the East and the West finally coming together. So the lap traffic is going to be guys that would expect to finish top 10 in their coast, essentially. So Johnson continues to lead the race here, 4.5 minutes down, 1.5 minutes plus a lap to go, and Trevor Burns has finally gotten around Jaden Wilson, who looks like he has gone down. It's Whelan now 3rd, Heilman 4th, and Jackson in 5th. Seth Crotty in 6th, Fitzpatrick 7th, and Cavacuti now in 8th, and Wilson back here in 9th is getting passed right now by his teammate, Ethan Gerst, so a couple Covenant riders, but then down in the final corner was Frank Jackson, and that will promote Wilson into the final transfer spot again as his teammate Gerst moves up into 8th, and they still have Braden Tharp on that 415 right behind them. Oh, rider down there. That is one of the Jack Daniels Racing riders. I think that might be Dylan Smith down in 19th, moving out of the way there. So let's see how it goes amongst teammates with Braden Tharp trying to close down. Does Jaden Wilson want to try to get around his teammate quickly and get out of there before there is any more problems? Of course, both of them, I think, are maybe trying to train their way up to this little battle ahead of them. Look at this, 3 riders in the corner at one time. That is Fitzpatrick on the 71, Crotty on the 131, and Cavacuti jumping up the inside. Thought he might have a move there, but backed out of the challenge. And Cavacuti definitely closing the pressure down, and here comes Gerst from behind as well. He is really gotten into the mix as Cavacuti lays it down. There goes Gerst, there goes Wilson. Here comes Tharp, and he is bringing with him, I guess that's still Dylan Smith right there, but Tharp has gotten around Cavacuti, and now Cavacuti goes down as he cases the triple, and Dylan Smith there doing some pirouettes in the corner, and Cavacuti is going to be kicking himself right there as he has allowed Frank Jackson up into 10th, but Tharp now has some breathing room. And it is so challenging to make it into this East-West showdown. Best riders from both coasts stacked together in one heat race. And so, you know, normally you'd be finishing in 9th place here in a main event. And Braden Tharp, I think, would actually be kind of stoked on a 9th place in a main event. But he's just trying to actually make it into the main event with a 9th place finish in his coast as we head back up to your leader, Payson Johnson. He is somewhat hit cruise control here with a 17-second lead on Trevor Burns. Just got a couple more corners to go. And he's already got the title wrapped up, so now this is all bragging rights, and he was definitely going to try to go for the win here tonight, but he gets it done in the heat race as Johnson takes the win here in 250 West. In the first heat of the 250 class action here tonight, Trevor Burns has Whelan behind him, but Whelan goes down. That's Heilman getting blocked past by Fitzpatrick, and all these guys are so close together. Whelan's going to go from battling for second down to, I believe that's 8th now. So 8th spot for Whelan. Here comes Tharp and Frank Jackson trying to get it with a couple corners to go. Frank Jackson's going to have to absolutely send it across this start straight. He piles into the jump. He goes for the inside and just falls short. It's going to be Tharp to the main event, barring any penalties, as Frank Jackson was a half second down at the finish line. It's Cavacuti in 11th with Lane Wofford there in 12th, Michael Mudge in 13th. And Brandon Nygren will be the last runner on the lead lap in 14th. So here come cuts. Let's take a look. And Frank Jackson does indeed get the final transfer spot on penalties. Braden Tharp, with 1.80 seconds of cuts, has missed the main event, at least preliminarily so, for the East-West Showdown tonight in Salt Lake City. He will have to go to the last chance qualifier, of which will be a combined last chance qualifier, East and West showing off showing down against each other for the first time in that last chance qualifier. So bummer there for Tharp because he had it and got boofed out there by the cuts, but it goes to Payson Johnson here in this heat race as the 1W stands atop this one. All right, so now it's time for the 250 East heat race, and this is essentially a championship clinching moment for Colby Eaglin. If he just makes the main event, he's pretty much clinched the championship. The only thing that would be out of his power at that point is if he is unable to start the main event later on tonight. I believe a DNF, like a technical DNF that kicks him out of the server, for example, essentially results in no points. So he still actually has to start the main event. But of course, if he makes the main event and then starts the main event, he will be your champion. So this 250 East heat race is going to be brought to you by OGL Paco on Twitch. He streams in his free time and is a proud sponsor of Race Factory Gaming. He asks that you guys feel free to stop by and hang out anytime. That's twitch.tv/OGL Paco. New sponsor on board with Race Factory Gaming this year, and we always appreciate anybody that comes up and supports the show every year. As a quick reminder to everybody hanging out in chat, please head down to the description and click on startyoursystems.com/giveaways and enter yourself in to win a MotoOption swag pack tonight. That is going to be a shirt, a hat, and a pair of sunglasses that we will give away to one lucky winner after the last chance qualifiers later on tonight. Polls are still open, so you guys can still get in there for the next 40 minutes and get your entry in if you haven't already. But yeah. So parade lap out there for this East heat race, and we'll try to find ourselves where exactly is Colby Eagland, as he is just mixed in here. I like that he's running the 1E. He is your defending 1E champion, but he's been running the number 1 plate all year long, so he goes with the 1E tonight. Hopefully that's not a bad omen for him, because you usually only run the 1E once you've actually locked up the title for the showdown. But hey, you know, I like it. He's going for it. He is the current 1E, so it's not too ballsy. But pretty much the exact same setup that we saw out of his teammate Payson Johnson. So Panini Motorsports looking exactly like Star Yamaha IRL, and trying at least to clinch both 250 championships. Now the competition for him, as we are not going to be able to find him, but it is Jacob Hubbard, 25 points down in this championship, and we're going to see if there's any shenanigans perhaps going into this first corner. Of course, if Eagland doesn't make the main event, Hubbard still actually has to win the main event, the East-West Showdown, which is a tall task, no question about it. But we'll see how it all plays out. Here we go, 250 East heat race action set to go as we drop the gate again in Salt Lake City. Great start for Hubbard on the 11. He's alongside the 395 of Pinkerton into the first corner, and it is going to be Hubbard in and out of the first corner first. He has got Eagland right behind him, and I wonder if there's going to be any sort of tactical play here if he knows that Eagland is right behind him to maybe slow up the pace and perhaps put the number 1E on the ground, and that would give him the best opportunity for Eagland to have to go to that last chance qualifier and hope to not have him make it through to the main event. And of course he still has to win the main event, but he's starting off on the right foot here with a hole shot in his heat race, and he's got Eagland knocking on the door already as they complete the first lap. So it's Hubbard with a front flip over the finish line jump, and he doesn't get it, and he goes down. So clearly he does not care that much about this championship. He's just out there having fun tonight. He knows it's a long shot to do so. So at this point, just have a little bit of fun with it, and at this stage, it is definitely putting Colby Eagland in a great position to essentially clinch this title by going out of this heat race as he takes over the race lead. It's Seth Shirley right behind him in second. Trevor Spencer now moving into the 3 spot with Casey Cochran in 4th, and Chris Post now in 5th. Got Ryan Pinkerton 6th, Tanner Thorson in 7th, Luke Sullivan is 8th, and Seth Garrett is 9th. So how about that? Another thing that would be added upon this is, what about Hubbard not even making the main event, which he's already moved up to 10th here, but it's one of those things that could just happen and pretty much gift Eagland the championship on that alone. He's working his way through. He is in 10th. He's behind Seth Garrett. Look at these guys side by side in the whoops. They're trying to square each other off. That was the 43 of Garrett and the 395 of Pinkerton, and Pinkerton got shoved out wide, allowed Hubbard up into 9th. So now Hubbard is in a transfer spot. But again, it's pretty much pointless with Eagland making the main event. Oh, Hubbard down! Hubbard clipped the rear end of Garrett, and he has been sent off the side of the track and into the grandstands. And now he is definitely in danger of not making it out of this heat race. Where has he remounted? He is now in 13th. And he still has pretty much everybody he needs right in front of him, but he's got to get pretty much to the end of this rhythm section where P9 is. Down goes one of his teammates in front of him. Wasn't sure who that was. It might have been Rogan McIntosh on the 89. But Hubbard now up into 12th. He's closing up on J.R. Reyes. We got Chris Post in 10th and Luke Sullivan. So I'm sorry, it was actually Frank Jackson the whole time in that first heat race, and Sullivan here is now occupying the final transfer spot. He's got Aaron Rockefeller just ahead of him. Joseph Pilsner is out here tonight with Tanner Thorson right behind, or right ahead of him, I should say. Seth Garrett up here a little further up the road now. Casey Cochran, Trevor Spencer, Seth Shirley, and Colby Eagland continues to lead the race here on to lap number 5. Halfway through this one, 3 minutes in, 3 minutes to go, plus a lap, and Eagland looks like he is on his way to clinching a historic second consecutive 250 East championship, which puts him in rarefied air for 250 class Supercross riders in MX Simulator history. Become the only 3rd different rider to go back-to-back with championships, and I'm sure he will be very excited about that. Shirley makes a mistake mid-rhythm, and that is going to allow Trevor Spencer by on the 49 Covenant machine. And the side note to all this, of course, is the hype about this 250 main event is going to be immense, regardless of whether or not championships have been decided or not. In fact, with Eaglin going through, it might make it even better because he doesn't have to ride carefully or anything like that for the championship. And we're going to see an all-out brawl, I think, among Eaglin, his teammate Payson Johnson, apparently Travis Hoffman lighting up somebody in the background there. That was not for a position, but that was Rogan McIntosh and Travis Hoffman exchanging pleasantries. But, yeah, I think this 250 East-West Showdown is going to be tremendous to watch tonight. So you won't want to miss that battle coming up a little bit later on as 250 East heat number 2 continues to circulate here. Shirley back here in third, still has Cochran behind him. And Garrett inside of the top 5. Here is Tanner Thorson in 6th. Joseph Pilsner getting past right now. He is going to go back to 8th as Hubbard goes up to 7th. And Sullivan still occupies the final transfer spot. A little further back there, Daniel Irvine trying to close up with Emmett Sund and Aaron Rockefeller all in the mix as well. And they're hoping for perhaps a mistake, either out of Sullivan or Pilsner up here. Riders down. That is, well, that's going to be Travis Hoffman down again, but he's held up the field a little bit. It's allowed Daniel Irvine to sneak up into the picture here. Emmett Sund going hard up the inside of Hoffman in the background. Hoffman's just trying to get out of the way, it looks like. Sullivan almost contact with Pilsner, and Pilsner's mistake is going to cost him a transfer spot here. As around goes Daniel Irvine and into 9th is Joseph Pilsner. First time we've really seen him back most of this year. And he is starting to feel the pressure from behind as he has now lost a transfer spot and has still got riders right behind him in the form of Emmett Sund and Aaron Rockefeller. Sund trying to close this gap down, put the pressure on Pilsner. He's got to move maybe here. He's going to sneak up the inside. Let's see if he goes inside into this corner. Yes, he does. He triples up the inside, goes for the block pass, but a little out kicks his coverage there. And in the end, Pilsner shoots back up the inside. Nice battle here for 10th, not in transfer positions, of course. And again, Pilsner not able to get the rhythm, so Sund goes around him. And they've got to get all the way up to Daniel Irvine or hope for a mistake out of Luke Sullivan or any of the others up here. Hubbard, Thorson, got Seth Garrett, Cochran, Shirley, and Spencer. And Eaglin, he is kind of mixed in with some lap traffic here. There's McIntosh getting out of the way, and it's definitely allowed Trevor Spencer to close that gap up at least a little bit, although he's going to jump into the top blocks there, and that'll cost him a lot of time. So Eaglin, just like his teammate, Payson Johnson, is going to win his heat race, but this one is essentially a championship clinching heat race win. We have to wait for him to start the main event, but at least at this point, Colby Eaglin has all but guaranteed he is your 2021 250 East champion for the 2nd year in a row. Just needs that 1 point for actually starting the main, and it's all his. So behind that was Spencer, Shirley, Cochran, Garrett, and then Thorson was 6th, 7th for Hubbard, 8th was Sullivan, and 9th for Daniel Irvine in the end, as it was a 6-second gap back to 10th place. Joseph Pilsner, Emmett Sund behind him, Nick Tomasunis, Aaron Rockefeller, Ryan Pinkerton, J.R. Reyes, Rogan McIntosh, Oscar Manias, Jonathan Alexander, Travis Hoffman, and Chris Post did not finish this race. So we'll wait for cuts to officially come in, but it looks like the top 9 should be pretty solid here with the gap established back to the 48 machine of Pilsner in 10th there. There we go. Cuts are in. And yeah, it stays the exact same inside the top 9. But here it is, folks. This is your 2021 250 East champion. And he's done it again. So we'll get real hyped up when he starts that main event later on and officially gets that point in his back pocket. But I'm sure right now he is feeling very, very happy to go back-to-back and win another title. I think his helmet says it all right here. The number 1E back again on the machine of Colby Eaglin. All right, again, quick reminder. Head over to startyoursystems.com/giveaways and get yourself entered in that MotoOption giveaway, the swag pack giveaway here tonight. One lucky winner announced after those last chance qualifiers. So check it out. Link is in the description below if you guys want to enter if you haven't already. And here comes the big boys. 450 heat number 1 about ready to go. And 450 heat number 1 tonight is brought to you by Underground RC, the leader in radio-controlled fun. On-site indoor off-road track and carpet track with a large in-store RC selection. If you're in the area of Clay, New York and want to visit their facilities, be sure to check them out or visit urcraceway.com and check out Underground RC. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors for coming on board this year, making this thing legit. And Underground RC, place I think a lot of people that are into motocross would be interested in, because I feel like a lot of people I know that are into motocross also are into RC car racing. So it's just a nice little connection right there. So remember, 450 Heat 1 here only has 14 riders. But the big news here is that Carter and Leclerc are both in this one. So Braden Carter trying to become the 5th different consecutive 450 champion here tonight. After Fresquez went back-to-back in 16 and 17 and promptly retired, Leclerc was able to win the title in 2018. Then Jack Haley won in 2019. Jeremy Seabolt won in 2020. And Braden Carter is trying to win the title here in 2021. But he has to go through your 2018 champ, Alexis Leclerc, as he has all year long. And even if they both make the main event, it is still all up for grabs with that 17-point deficit for Leclerc, who is very capable of winning the main event. But then Carter would need a slew of bad luck. So we'll see whether or not Carter can at least just make it into the main event right here to really put himself in a tremendous position for the championship. And interestingly enough, look at this. Leclerc lines up just inside of Carter. So will we see any shenanigans, or is it all going to be fair and square? It is 450 Heat 1 right now in Salt Lake City. And Leclerc, as per usual, gets away clean. Carter's just going to funnel in behind him. Actually tuck to the inside here and come out in basically second, because Lang is going to get the whole shot. So it's Leclerc and Carter side by side behind Lang. And let's see, Carter's going up the inside into this corner. Leclerc punts Tyler Lang out of the way and takes over the race lead. A little bit of French lag involved right there. Leclerc out of Picardy, France, going in on the American rider Tyler Lang and just pushes him aside. Now a mistake for Leclerc, and Carter gets into the back of him. Oh, and a save. Unbelievable save for Braden Carter. So there you go. A little bit of impromptu shenanigans. Was not intentional on the part there of Leclerc. At least I don't think it was. I don't think he was trying to case and then have to double a jump. But it's affected Carter negatively here. He has got to start working his way through some riders here, or hopefully in his case just not go down. He just has to make this main event at all costs. And you're going to see him ride maybe the most conservatively in this race. He might wick it up a little bit in the main event to make sure he gets into a position that's a little bit more comfortable. But right now, he's just trying to avoid trouble. It's all over the back here of Dylan Copeland. You got Trent Adams just up the road. Jeremy Smith on the 4. Oh, Carter gets taken down by Copeland. And now Carter's losing several positions. He has to roll the finish line jump. I think he's out of transfer spot now. No, he's in 9th, but he's got Lang up the inside of him. And Lang backs out of the challenge. But now Carter teetering on the bubble here. Riders down. Oh, Carter able to go around the outside. That was Castellaneta and I believe Janice that got together. So Carter back up to 7th for now. He's a little bit back in the safe zone. Ryder going down ahead of him. Is that Heagney? It was Heagney going down. He took Lang with him, so this is actually going to help Carter a lot more because everybody just had to get funneled around back here. But the problem that Carter also has is there's still a lot of fast guys back there, very capable of making the main event type dudes. So Carter over the finish line jump. Trying to get up the inside there of... Is that Copeland? Yes, it was. Dylan Copeland, and he gets by. Cooper Hunt just ahead of him. So Carter now finds himself up into 5th. Trent Adams in 4th. Trent Adams in 3rd. Jeremy Smith still in 2nd. And Leclerc continues to streak away out front. Leclerc has got an absolutely massive line working, at least in the second rhythm section that I've been seeing here. As he goes triple, quad, single through an 8-jump section that most riders are going double, triple, triple through. So it's still 3 jumps essentially with that single out, but man, he is absolutely flying. So we'll stick with Leclerc here for a minute, see if he's doing it consistently, and see if he's doing anything else in this first rhythm as well. He's going to go double in, triple, and I think he's just going on, table off, yeah, trying to stay low and consistent. Then out of this corner, I think he goes left, step on, right? Nope. Step on kind of doesn't hit the lip, so he can land down the backside of that single. And then watch this right here. Out of this corner, he goes 3 in, and then quad. Look at that line right there that Leclerc is pulling off, and he just did it 2 laps in a row. It looked like it's a little bit of a huck the second time by, but that's still a big line right there. And you can see Smith behind taking the other option of the 2-3-3 line. Trent Adams still back here, and now Carter has got around Cooper Hunt. He is up into 4th, so definitely in a much safer position here. "17 rounds, comes down to 2 guys. Funny they end up in the same heat race. And for those wondering, tiebreaker is wins, but these guys are tied on wins. So in the weird circumstance that Leclerc doesn't win, there are some interesting math implications that come into play, and Carter needs to finish very far back in the main event. But I think Leclerc wants to win this race, and at that point it'd be up to the tiebreaker, which in that case would be if Carter finishes in 14th, the tiebreaker goes to Leclerc. If he finishes 13th or better, he's the champion no matter what. But that is the picture in the main event a little bit later on here. 4 minutes, 45 seconds down. Minute and 15 seconds plus a lap still remain, and Leclerc still clicking off consistent laps out front. He made a little mistake coming back onto the start straight last time by slid the rear end out, but he's still in a very comfortable position out front ahead of Jeremy Smith. So Smith still runs in 2nd. Trent Adams is in 3rd. Braden Carter running here in 4th. Oh, he's down. Braden Carter is down. Cooper Hunt goes by. There goes Castellaneta. And now Carter slips back to 6th. And again, it comes into play a little bit here as right now 10th is only about 7 seconds behind him. So another fall-off crash would be a very costly mistake for Carter. Oh, a big crash by Blakely. Got into the rear end of Tyler Lang right there. Copeland goes by. There goes Janice, and Blakely remounts in 10th now, so he's out of transfer, and he jumps off the track immediately and goes down. So actually, this is helping the case of Carter to have plenty of breathing room in the event of a catastrophic error on his end. Copeland, Janice back there, Lang, Carter getting a little sideways through this rhythm section, but corrals it back together nicely. Castellaneta. Cooper Hunt. Been very impressed this year with Cooper Hunt. Started off, I feel like, kind of slow in the 250 West campaign it was, and slowly built up to a very strong, comfortable pace. And you can see here he is elected to jump up and ride the 450 class, and he's more or less been carrying the flag along with Seth Shirley for the atom.com effort, which is led by Adam Holm, longtime racer in this series, who essentially promptly retired mid-season this year after the Daytona Supercross. And Hunt and Shirley have really carried the flag for that team. I feel like Hunt has been more impressive to me, but Shirley has also come out of nowhere as Castellaneta is going to jump up the inside of Hunt, and here comes Carter. Carter trying to get up the inside on the Supercross triple. Dualies, kind of at least, a little scrub dualies. Carter goes to the inside. Hunt squares back off, and there's still bar-to-bar through this rhythm section. But finally there, Carter will shut the door and make that pass stick on Cooper Hunt. Back out front, Leclerc's lead has shrunk a little bit down to about 4 seconds on Jeremy Smith, so perhaps a mistake or two out of the Frenchman. But he is coming down to get the checkered flag here and get another heat race victory. He's been the king of heat races this year, winning so many of them. Only 4 main event wins to his credit this year. but he at least keeps the championship hopes alive heading into the main event. Leclerc takes the win in 450 heat number 1. It's going to be Jeremy Smith second, Trent Adams third. Castaneda just went down in fourth, and Lang is going to go by for fourth. Carter here in fifth. We'll stick with Carter to just make sure that he completes this one and gets it into the main event, so we'll set it up for a very interesting main event at that point, and he does. Going to follow Lang through in fifth. Castaneda there in sixth. Cooper Hunt in seventh here. Tyus Janice in eighth, and Copeland will get the final transfer spot in ninth. Reed Young, Chase Blakely, Austin Bear, Alex Kerr, and Logan Heagney are all headed to the last chance qualifier. It looks like a couple positions changed. Notably, Castaneda dropped a spot behind Hunt, but that was it. Transfer spots stayed the same as Leclerc wins 450 heat numeral uno here tonight. All right, again, another reminder, the MotoOption giveaway. StarYourSystems.com/giveaways, or just click the link in the description. Enter yourself in the sweepstakes for a chance at winning a swag pack from MotoOption Clothing here at the finale. We'll announce the winner after the last chance qualifiers. But tonight's 450 heat number 2 is brought to you by R Jerky. That is eatrjerky.com, EATRJERKY.com. Use the code SYS20, that's SYS20 for 20% off your order. Help support the Wageman brothers. They have been helping my fantasy team, killing my fantasy team, a mixture of both in the last couple rounds. I went from maybe finishing top 20 in the championship league to finishing 140th, but I'm not mad about it. It is what it is. But at least help the Wageman brothers out. They're two cool dudes, brothers, going at it and trying to take on the best of the world every single week in Monster Energy Supercross and Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. So head over to eatrjerky.com. Use that code SYS20. Get yourself 20% off your order. Have yourself a nice snack to keep on the desk side every evening. All right, we've got Hunter Porch, William St. Laurent, Devin Davis, Dennis Fjellberg, Jeremy Siebold, Caden Speck, Gunnar Fugler, Logan Leitzel, Chase Donovan, Yannick Mueller, Luke Magnetti, and Caleb Hall lining up in this one. I think this is the one that has 13 riders, so 4 guys are not going to be going through out of this one. All right, here we go. 450 Heat 2 coming up. Let's see how this one goes. Casey Ohlert way outside. What is he doing out there as we drop the gate? We'll go more towards the middle here. See who gets the whole shot. Devin Davis trying to bang bars into the first corner. It's Caden Speck on the 75 and a lot of riders going down. This is all just to see who makes it in out of this 450 heat race, because it's pretty much just bragging rights on the line for anybody in this class. But it's Speck out front. Yannick Mueller, Luke Magnetti, Chase Donovan, Jeremy Cohenauer, Caleb Hall, Dennis Fjellberg, all in the mix. Up the inside, Cohenauer got around Caleb Hall. But Speck goes down out of the lead. Mueller almost piles into him. So it's a Yannick Mueller there on the 335, or 336, I should say. JRBR.co Yamaha has taken over the race lead here. The rider out of Germany looking to maybe get his first career Race Retro Gaming heat race win. But he's going to lose the lead here as Luke Magnetti goes by for the lead on the number 30 BPC Husqvarna. Mueller a little short on the triple there. Here's Hall, now got Fjellberg right behind him, and Speck after Speck went down at the end of the first lap. Speck trying to go for the triple line that Leclerc was doing, but he jumps off the track there. Fjellberg had to kind of reset himself on the finish line jump and almost cased it. That's going to allow Speck to get up the inside and make a nice pass there on his teammate. Whoa, triple in from Seabolt behind on the 1. And he's trying to square off Dennis Fjellberg here. He's going to go to the outside in the first corner, but nothing doing there, so he funnels in right behind him. Tire tap into the rhythm, and he's up the inside now of Fjellberg into the next corner. Going up the inside. Going to get around the 3. Oh, Seabolt short on the triple, and Fjellberg trying to fight back. A battle of a couple champions here. Fjellberg, your 2014 Race Factor Gaming 250 Motocross champion, whereas Seabolt, multi-time 250 Supercross champion and your reigning 450 Supercross champ as well, of course. Speck has gone down again, so there goes Fjellberg by. St. Laurent on the 45 also squeezes through. So here's Kohenauer now. He is in 8th, and Donovan right now occupies the final transfer spot in 9th on his Pro Line Designs Yamaha. Oh, Kohenauer just went down, though, so Donovan going to go up to 8th, and Kohenauer trying to regroup before Logan Leitzel gets there. Leitzel has Devin Davis behind him, but they are both out of transfer spots currently. See if they can't close up on your Race Tractor Gaming president, the MV Films number 20 of Jeremy Kohenauer. Seems like everybody's fairly spread out, trying to more or less manage their own race at this point. And Mueller back out front. A little bit of foreign flavor at the front of both heat races here. The Frenchman, Alexis Leclerc, got it done in the first heat race. Now can the German, Yannick Mueller, get it done here in the second one? 3 minutes, 40 seconds down. So a little over 2 minutes and a lap still to go here. And Mueller continues to lead. Magnetti drifting back to 2nd. Caleb Hall sits 3rd. Dennis Fjellberg right here in 4th with William St. Laurent in 5th. Chase Donovan runs 6th with Caden Speck 7th. He is dealing with pressure right now. It's Gunnar Fugler getting out of the way. I apologize. Wasn't sure what was going on right there, but it's just Fugler trying to get out of the way. So right now it's Seabolt in the final transfer spot. He is ahead of Kohenauer, but Donovan just went down. So Kohenauer goes to the final transfer spot. Then flying in there, I think was Fugler, as Davis now moves up to 10th. And he is trying to reel in Kohenauer as well. Seabolt all over Leitzel here for the 7th spot. Over table, double into the Supercross triple for Jeremy Seabolt. Little long. Got a kick up on landing there. Almost had a legs off. Meanwhile, Speck goes down. So Caden Speck over the berm. There goes Kohenauer and Davis into the final transfer spot. Donovan now moves up to 10th. And Speck going to try to get going here in 11th. He will do so a long time before Casey Ohlert gets there. So Casey Ohlert on the struggle bus here, and Donovan now side by side with Leitzel. So something happened at the end of the whoops there, and Donovan trying to get up the inside there of Logan Leitzel, just not able to do it. And this is currently your battle for the final transfer spot. Donovan outside looking in, Leitzel holding that final spot. Oh, Leitzel down, and Donovan, fortunate not to go down with him, has to run over his bike. And something is going on here with Gunnar Fugler. Not sure what he's quite waiting on right there. As riders are going by, I think he might be just waiting for the race to finish. So, there is your race leader, though, Yannick Mueller getting the white flag. Still has Magnetti behind him. Fjellberg now up into the 3 spot. St. Laurent now 4th. Caleb Hall back into 5th. Jeremy Seabolt 6th. Jeremy Kohenauer is 7th. Devin Davis runs 8th. And Donovan is in the final transfer spot. So Leitzel trying to get back to Chase Donovan here. It's going to have pretty much a whole lap to do it here. Another rider off the side of the track there. Meanwhile, up front, getting it done for the first time in his career, Yannick Mueller out of Germany, going to bring it down and take the win here in 450, heat number 2. Looks to be absolutely stoked about that one as Magnetti crosses in 2nd. Dennis Fjellberg looks like he is settled in nicely to 3rd there. St. Laurent 4th. Caleb Hall battling with Seabolt, his teammate, for 5th. So Seabolt 6th, Kohenauer 7th, Davis 8th, and here we go. Battle for the final transfer spot. Donovan trying to hold on for his dear life. He's off the side of the track. Leitzel and him are side by side. They're both down. Here comes Casey Ohlert. I'm sorry, no, Caden Speck jumped over them. So they were battling for the final transfer spot together, and in the end, Caden Speck is going to get it. Chase Donovan down again before the finish line jump. So through went Ohlert. And it looks like Donovan's going to end up 11th, actually, because Ohlert was in 12th, a lap behind these guys. So some chaos there towards the end of that heat race. And Speck slips into the main event. Confirmed as well, as it all stays the same after cuts, with Yannick Mueller taking the win here in 450 heat number 2. As a reminder, this heat race is presented to you by R Jerky. Use the code SYS20, that's SYS20, at eatrjerky.com for 20% off your order. That is EATRJERKY.com. And get yourself just some high quality beef. Just the absolute toppest of top beef that you can get. All right. Heat racing action is done. And a final reminder, 5 minutes remain on the MotoOption giveaway entry form. So head over to startyoursystems.com/giveaways and enter right now for your chance to win a hat, shirt, and sunglasses swag pack from MotoOption Clothing that we will be giving away after those last chance qualifiers. And entries will be closed in 5 minutes time. So get your name on that list if you haven't already. Tonight's last chance qualifier is brought to you by Phil's Ski and Snowboard. Phil's Ski and Snowboard is your one-stop shop for all things ski and snowboard. They have over 35 years of industry experience, along with a youthful and knowledgeable staff, giving you the best experience you can find in Orange County. Whether it's tune-ups and repairs, seasonal leases, retail, or just giving information on the latest and greatest equipment, they're here to make sure you get the most out of your winter. Visit philsskiandboardshop.com today. All right, so it is time for the first combined 250 race we're going to have all year long in MX Simulator competition. This is the last chance qualifier to find out which 4 riders will make it into the 250 East-West Showdown, and it is East and West riders combined right now. So we have got Alec Horn, we've got Joseph Pilsner, Emmett Sund, Juan Gomez, we've got Joe Wagner, Braden Tharp, Lane Wofford, Travis Hoffman, Ryan Pinkerton, Dylan Cavacuti, Oscar Manias, J.R. Reyes, Brandon Nygren, Nick Tomasunis, Aaron Rockefeller, Sam Weidman, and we got Zoa Cross back here, Jeff Giffen, Jonathan Alexander, Rogan McIntosh. Going to be interesting to see who makes it in the top 4 out of this one. Last thing you want to do is not make it into the showdown. You really, really want to make it. Prove you're one of the 20 best 250 riders in the world for 2021. So let's find out who goes through. This one's going 5 minutes plus a lap with the top 4 riders transferring through into the main event. It is time to go racing 250 last chance qualifier in Salt Lake City. And Pinkerton hits the gate along with Zoa Cross on the 27th. So out of the middle, I think that is going to be Emmett Sund coming up the inside. It looked like it was maybe one of the Covenant rides, but it's Sund with the hole shot. Braden Tharp up his inside on the left. On the 415 is going to take over the race lead. Riders going down amidst the back there as there's some chaos behind them, but it's Tharp out front. Rockefeller second side by side with Dylan Cavacuti, who goes for the bike hump galore over the Supercross triple, then lays it down and loses his transfer spot. So it's Rockefeller now second, Emmett Sund third, and Oscar Manias moving up into the 4th and final transfer spot. Jonathan Alexander is in 5th early on with Brandon Nygren in 6th. So let's see how it settles down. Is it going to be pure chaos for the next 5 minutes? Oh, it might be as Oscar Manias lays it down. That's going to move Alexander into the final transfer spot. And he's still got just a host of riders giving chase behind him. Rider down there, that was Emmett Sund. Emmett Sund goes down and loses a transfer spot. Nygren goes into the final transfer spot, but then moves into 3rd. So Alexander, now he's going to drop back to 5th behind Sam Weigman. But he gets back around. And we got Jonathan Alexander now back in the final transfer spot. Weigman with Emmett Sund right behind. Rider off the track there. Is that one of the top riders there? I think it was. Braden Tharp, Rockefeller, Sam Weigman. And, oh, an absolute takeout there from Tharp up the inside. I'm sorry, that's Alexander, I should say, on Weigman. Now, oh, he goes for the kill and goes down, but he does not fall off the bike. That could have been worse. Alec Horn goes by. Down rider right there is Emmett Sund on the 520. So Sam Weigman on the Devast Land 141 is in the final transfer spot as Braden Tharp continues to lead the race. You can find your favorite rider in this LCQ scrolling across the top of your screen. So it's Tharp, Rockefeller, Manias, Weigman. Inside of the top 4, Alec Horn, Alexander, Pinkerton, Sund, Wofford, Wagner. All these guys outside looking in. They're going to hope for a mistake up ahead of them because right now it's looking a little bleak. Oh, Weigman was down, and here comes Alec Horn. So Weigman versus Horn for the final transfer spot. Oh, and Alec Horn with an absolute scrub over the finish line jump, trying to go up the inside, but slows it down to the whoops. Weigman looks like he can hit him just a little bit faster. It's close, though. These two are going to be going for it. And Jonathan Alexander back there is going to be licking his chops, hoping they get together. They have a minute and 20 seconds plus a lap still to work with. Weigman definitely dealing with the pressure well so far that Alec Horn has put on. Oh, but he's going to go through the mechanics area there to the outside. Now he's trying to get the power down to the finish line. Jump still clears it. And man, Horn just cannot get close enough to think, excuse me, about making a pass. Alec Horn putting a lot of pressure here on Sam Weigman. Oscar Minaya still up here, Rockefeller, and then Tharp. And Tharp got back to the line before time expired, so still 2 to go this time by for all these guys. And Horn is just trying to stay close to Weigman and push him into a mistake like that right there. And Weigman has to roll the finish line jump as Alec Horn goes into the final transfer spot. Here comes Jonathan Alexander from 6th, I should say. Trying to close up there on Weigman. And Ryan Pinkerton behind that. Also keeping it close. So can Weigman close it back down just a little bit more? Alec Horn working through some lap traffic here. Lap traffic moving out of the way. Very nicely done. And this is Travis Hoffman. They're coming up to lap. He's going to the outside. Going to allow them up the inside. So Horn goes by. And white flag is out. So final lap in this 250 last chance qualifier. The best of the West and East finally meeting each other. And we're going to see who makes it into this main event. Oh, Hoffman goes for the kill on Alec Horn and puts him down. So Hoffman has cost Alec Horn the final transfer spot as a lapped rider. Oh, I'm sure the officials are going to have something to say about that. Travis Hoffman, who has been maybe the worst lapped rider in the game since I raced competitively, which was a long time ago now, has cost another potential spot in the main event as Tharp goes through. Rockefeller's down before the finish line jump. Manias goes by for 2nd. Rockefeller's trying to get going. There goes Weigman through. Here comes Pinkerton. He cuts the track. And it's going to be Rockefeller, Horn, Alexander, and Pinkerton down in the flag stand at the finish line jump. Good night. Unbelievable finish. I wonder what's going to happen right there. Travis Hoffman. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good at all right there. And did Alec Horn make it through? No, he did not. He actually lost the spot. He had 2.29 seconds of cut, so he went from finishing 5th back to 6th. But man, I wonder what's going to happen right there. Yeah, clearly people in chat in here are really trying to say something about that. I mean, nothing you can justify there. Travis Hoffman's always been a god-awful lapper in this game. So curious to see. Wonder if they let Alec Horn start on the back row, because that's just a shame right there. Sad way for that race to end, but congratulations to the guys that did make it through. Moving on to this 450 LCQ, which will consist of 9 riders with 4 riders making it through. And tonight's 450 Last Chance Qualifier is brought to you for the final time this year, of course, by Racetech Suspension. Racetech is an industry leader in suspension components and service. Racetech has been a huge supporter of Race Factory from the beginning, providing a ton of prizing for RF's competitors. Racetech is your place to go for all your suspension needs. Thank you, Racetech. Yeah, Racetech has been a tremendous sponsor over the years. And Chris Riesenberg, who always is the one doing the deals there for Racetech and Race Factory Gaming, is a huge proponent of Last Chance Qualifiers. They're his favorite race, of course, LCQ. Going to be the Racetech LCQ. So as mentioned, light Last Chance Qualifier here for the last one of the year. Looks like 10 guys. Holy crustaceans! Travis Marks with a $100 donation in chat right now. Are you serious, Marks Dog? You're insane. You're absolutely insane. Although, to be fair, I give you $35 of my hard-earned cash every year just to not win anything in fantasy. But I digress. Thank you so much, Mark Stock, for the $100 donation. I really appreciate you stopping by and watching these races at all, being part of the industry and over there with Mathis and everything. I think people are stoked to see you in chat. But seriously, thank you so much for the $100 donation. And off we go in this 450 LCQ. Riders down. So the top 4 or 5-ish all make it through pretty clean. And it's Austin Bear out front early on. Ooh, riders getting shoved around there. Reed Young is going to go to the race lead. So it's Reed Young, Donovan, Bear, and Ohlert right now in a bit of a freight train at the front. You got Leitzel back there, Logan Heagney. And there's 10 guys going for those 4 positions, and I think it's now down to 9. I don't believe Hunter Porch is still circulating the track down in 10th, but it's Young leading here at the end of the first lap. Got Fugler, Kerr, and oh no, Porch still is circulating back there, so he's dead last, but he's on the track. So it's Young, Bear, Ohlert, and Leitzel right now inside of the top 4. Chase Donovan, who just missed out on making it through in his heat race, is now trying to make it through out of this LCQ, and that is Reed Young hitting the ground. So Heagney goes by, Blakely goes by. Here comes Fugler, and Fugler will also make it through. And we have Alex Kerr back here and Hunter Porch circulating at the back, as mentioned. Back out front, Austin Bear now leads the race. Leitzel up the inside of Ohlert for second. Ohlert cases the finish line jump. Here comes Donovan pulling alongside into the whoop section. You can see these guys all trying to kind of jockey for position and just get themselves into a position where they can do a strong pace. Otherwise, this man right here, Chase Blakely, who was the winner earlier this year at Arlington 2, I believe it was, he is going to sneak right into the picture. Blakely winning his first career Supercross this year after so many years of trying. And now trying to get into the main event here at the finale. Up over the finish line jump, Donovan still applying pressure to Ohlert, but has lost that position, as you can see. And Blakely is sneaking into the picture. The gap has definitely gone down this time by now down to about 1.2 seconds, going probably down to about a second right now as Blakely's closing up. We'll go on board to the 21. You can see Donovan there on the 64 with a mistake, and Donovan down. Chase Donovan hits the ground, and now the top 4 are absolutely gone from the rest of the field because Donovan, who was in the midst of that battle, went down and still got up in 5th. So now Blakely up here finds himself in the 4th spot. Let's see if he'll try to close down. There he goes up the inside. Ohlert just slid out. Top 2. They're having themselves a bit of a battle up there right now. Leitzel and Austin Bear going at it for the race lead. Austin Bear, Logan Leitzel in a bit of a 1-2 train right here. And Leitzel, I wonder if he's going to be content to settle in behind Bear if he's going to go for the lead. Well, Bear just made a mistake, and that might make it easier for Leitzel to determine what he's going to do. Well, actually, Bear, he fights back. He wants to win this LCQ, does the 944. And Leitzel, nothing to say about it just yet. Goes for an inside move there, but not quite close enough. So he'll settle in and have another go at it. Blakely is still 3rd. Ohlert is 4th. Here's Donovan in 5th. Heagney 6th, Reed Young is 7th, but he just went down. Hunter Porch now is 7th, Reed Young is 8th, and Fugler is 9th. It's a team integrity just party back here. Porch, Fugler, Reed Young, but their teammate, Casey Ohlert, he's getting it done right now in the final transfer spot. Got a request for some first-person action, so we'll go on board with Logan Leitzel here as he's trying to close that gap down to Austin Bear. And just like in that 250 LCQ, they are not going to make it back, or they do make it back to the flag, I should say, before time expires this time by. So going to have ourselves an 8-lap last chance qualifier. Leitzel definitely keeping the pressure on Bear, but Bear is just relentless, responding to the pressure so well. Oh, mistake though for Bear. He's going to land in the tough blocks. A nice job to crowd together, and then he's coming up on that integrity battle for dead last right now. Not sure which of these riders he's catching. Fugler, Porch, and Reed Young were all together. Now riders going down in front of him, and Bear has to check up, so Leitzel has an opportunity now to close that gap down again, and Blakely is still surging back here. These guys are all just trying to make it into the main event, of course, but an LCQ win is still a win in their books. So Leitzel, let's see if he tries it here with a couple turns to go. Austin Bear has responded so well to this pressure. Here comes Leitzel onto the Supercross triple. A little bit of dualies off of it, and Leitzel cases, so he's not in a good spot here. He's going to go triple in right here, though, and goes for the quad and gets it for the lead. What a move. And then they get together, and they both go down, and neither are going to win the race. Chase Blakely goes through and wins the LCQ. Unbelievable stuff right there. It's Leitzel's 2nd. Bear will cross the line 3rd, and Ohlert will be the last rider this year to make it into a main event as he finishes up in 4th place in the last chance qualifier and has stamped his ticket into the main event here in Las Vegas. So Logan Heagney comes home 5th. Hunter Porch will be 6th. Donovan in 7th. Reed Young 8th. Gunnar Fugler 9th. And Alex Kerr out of this one in 10th as we await for cuts here. One rider still coming through, and boom, cuts are in, and it stays the same. So Blakely, your winner here in the LCQ. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for watching to this point. We are just about to pick ourselves a winner here in this MotoOption clothing giveaway. So if you've already entered, hopefully you guys got your submissions in. But let's go ahead and pick a winner here tonight. The MotoOption Salt Lake City 2 giveaway. And the winner is... oh, the winner is Chandler Bloxham. Chandler Bloxham has won. Don't want to say his Gmail, but it's the Chan Bloxham, so I feel like that's Chandler Bloxham. Has won. Let me just go ahead and screenshot this real quick for the old boss. And boom. Congratulations, Chandler Bloxham, on winning the MotoOption giveaway sweepstakes here tonight. As we get revved up for the main event, I'm going to go ahead and send this over to Cohenauer. We'll go to our intermission screen for just a second. But congratulations, Chandler Bloxham. Yeah, see you're here in chat. Congrats, buddy. And you just won yourself a t-shirt and a hat and a pair of sunglasses from the folks at MotoOption Supercross, or MotoOption clothing, I should say, of the MotoOption Supercross series. So sent that off to him. And boom. Yeah, you'll be contacted shortly by either Jeremy Cohenauer or the people at MotoOption Clothing, Chandler, not through me. So just to let you know there. Shout out Cinco de Mayo too as well. And that drink right there is for the one and only Travis Marks for that donation. Thank you so much for that. Here's we're in an intermission going into the main events. And it's 250 East-West Showdown coming up right now. And this 250 East-West Showdown tonight is brought to you by MotoOption Clothing. Founded in 2005 out of a pure love for motorsports and designs, MotoOption has continued to reinvent what a clothing company is all about. They pride themselves on staying true and giving back to the sports that support them. They support local tracks and organizations, as well as maintain a large athlete sponsorship program. MotoOption gives back to the sports that fuel us. Run by racers for racers, they are motorsports, and they are here again for the 11th year running a MotoOption Supercross. An insane amount of support over the decade that they've been a part of this series with us, and the prizing that they've given out, and now giving out some giveaways to you guys here tonight, so always excited to see that. And hey, Austin Bear with a $50 donation. This is about to pop up on the screen here too. Let's see if we can listen to the lovely sound that will come through. Is it going to come through? Should have something appear in the top of our screen any second now. But thank you for the $50 donation. Austin Bear says, "Let's go, Kellen. We in the main." Yes, you are. Here's something to show. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, good sir, for that $50 donation. I very, very much appreciate that. Here we go. Oh, wait. The notification didn't work, I guess. I apologize. Normally it appears across the screen. I got a very, very nice notification for that. But yeah, I'm not sure why it didn't work here on the tube. It works just fine on Twitch. I digress. All right, let's go back to our main screen here as we get back into the game. And thank you so much again, Travis Marks and Austin Bear, for those very generous donations. So we have got Payson Johnson, and we have also got his teammate, Colby Eagland, who is now officially about to be crowned 2021 250 East champion for the second year in a row. As soon as the gate drops in this main event, that single point will have been earned, and he will be crowned champion. He has already run in the 1E, though, and we're going to see who's going to win this showdown. This is absolutely going to be insane. The East and the West meet up here tonight in Salt Lake City, and it is going to be an absolute barn burner. 15 minutes plus a lap to decide who comes out on top. It's time to drop the gate once more for the 250 class as we get ready to go. It's the 250 East-West Showdown live on Start Your Systems. It's the teammates up the inside battling together, but Jaden Wilson out of the middle is trying to get to the corner first. Contact, and it's Eagland into the corner first, side by side with his teammate Johnson, and the two number ones are out front. Johnson and Eagland side by side, and this now has been the championship clincher for Eagland. He is also now the champ alongside Johnson, and they are set to go for battle here in Salt Lake City. Who is the dominant force in the 250 class between the teammates? Man, it's so tough to tell the difference between them. I can barely see the W on Johnson's bike compared to the E on Eagland's. I don't know why they elected to go with the exact same setup. But, oh, Eagland's going to case the finish line, jump and go down. Colby Eagland goes down. And that battle we were shaping up to see might be all for naught at this point, as Johnson now pulls away out front. It's Trevor Spencer right there in second, Trevor Burns in third, and Seth Shirley in fourth, with Luke Sullivan rounding out the top five. Bryce Whelan, Ethan Gers, Frank Jackson, Seth Garrett, Aaron Rockefeller and Neil Fitzpatrick in a bit of a freight train here as well, as everybody jockeys for position here on the first lap of the race. You can see everybody trying to just establish some early footing here, not put themselves on the back foot by crashing or getting together with another rider. So you want to make some quick passes early on sometimes if you're in the midfield, but you also want to not push the envelope and just try to relax here. So Johnson out front, he's actually receiving some pressure right now. Trevor Spencer is not letting him go on that Covenant number 49. And we saw this in the heat race as well out of Spencer. He was very strong. Closing that gap down in his heat race. Now trying to close that gap down here in the main event. And a mistake out of Johnson. So Spencer has closed it right up here onto the number 1 W. Little mistake there out of Spencer, though, as he's trying to go on-off and just didn't quite get over the table. So let's see how close he can remain here to your newly crowned 250 West champion, Payson Johnson. And a reminder, we got these outdoors coming up soon, as the Race Director Gaming National Championship will start, I believe, at the end of this month. And Payson Johnson enters that series as your reigning 250 national champion. So we'll see whether he decides to defend that championship or elect to move up to the 450 class full time at this point in his career. So it's Johnson leading, Spencer second, Shirley here is in third, Luke Sullivan is in fourth, and Burns right behind him in fifth. We got a great freight train right here. And off the back of this comes Bryce Whelan. Oh, over the bars goes Trevor Burns. And Bryce Whelan takes advantage of that to go on by, but so does several other riders. Frank Jackson there in the background I see going by. Trying to keep an eye for the 1E going by in the opposite direction. Have not seen it. We also have not seen Jacob Hubbard at all right now. Number 11 SwapMotoLive.com machine is in ninth. He is back here now behind Neil Fitzpatrick. And, of course, he now knows his championship is over, and this is all just for pride, but still going to be second in this 250 East Division Series this year, and I'm sure he'll be very, very stoked about that. Hubbard getting sideways here in the rhythm section. Back out front, there's Johnson, and the gap back to Trevor Spencer. Looking like it's about 2.5 seconds. Seth Shirley and Luke Sullivan still pretty close with Whelan in fifth. Frank Jackson coming through in sixth. Seth Garrett seventh. Neil Fitzpatrick is eighth. Hubbard in ninth, and Cochran right now is in 10th. Trevor Burns 11th. Daniel Irvine in 12th. Here comes John Heilman right now in 13th for SwapMotoLive.com. Seth Crotty runs in 14th. 15th for Ethan Gurst. 16th Oscar Manias. 17th is Tanner Thorson. 18th for Braden Tharp. 19th for Aaron Rockefeller, 20th for Jaden Wilson, and 21st for Colby Eaglin. So, hey, I mean, he needed to make the main event, but at this point it is going real bad for him as only Sem Weigman is behind him, and he's down again. He might be dead last after this contact here as Weigman goes through, and Eaglin's getting up alongside Tharp, and things are just going from bad to worse. So, wins the championship tonight, but that is about the end of the celebrations for him, because this 250 East-West showdown has been a disaster for him to this point. And his teammate, Payson Johnson out front, is in cruise control already. Trevor Spencer crashes out of second. So there goes Sullivan. And Seth Shirley now moves up onto the podium. Spencer gets up right ahead of Bryce Whelan, so we'll see if this battle ensues here. Bryce Whelan putting so much pressure right now on the back tire of Trevor Spencer on that 49. Let's see if he can make a pass happen here in a hurry and set sail after the two guys ahead of him. Whelan definitely a guy here who thinks he has a legit shot at winning this 250 East-West showdown, as do all the guys in this mix, but Whelan is a guy that has won main events before, so he knows how to get it done. All these other guys have not, aside from Johnson, of course. So Spencer, at least for now, holding off the charge, but now he goes down in the whoops, and Whelan has to take evasive action, goes off the track. Seth Shirley was also down. I wonder if that is why Trevor Spencer hit the deck. So Seth Garrett goes up into fourth. Hubbard now finds himself up into fifth, and Whelan now in sixth. Frank Jackson 7th. Irvine is 8th. Heilman 9th, and Trevor Spencer here in 10th. can see all these guys still jockeying for position. Look at all these different lines everybody's taking as Gerst tries to go up the inside of Crotty. Around the outside of him, though, comes Oscar Manias. Oscar Manias on the 100 Radical XVRS machine, now side by side with Gerst. And you can see Cochran on the 90 right behind him. And there's going to be contact right there as Manias gets taken to the ground there on a cross jump out of Ethan Gerst. So Cochran now closes up right behind him with Trevor Burns. Cochran and Burns, a couple guys that got their first career 250 wins earlier this year. Cochran on the east, Burns on the west. And they're now battling just outside the top 10 here in the East-West Showdown. So Cochran trying to close up on Gerst. Meanwhile, Gerst closing up on Crotty. Crotty going to the outside of Heilman. Heilman trying to fight back on the inside of him. There's still nose to tail and side by side. Here comes Gerst now alongside of Heilman. Heilman gets hit and goes down, and over top goes Cochran and Trevor Burns. Both riders making passes right there. So they're trying to obviously freight train together. The front little dualies action over the triple, but more or less behind each other, not side by side there. Oh, what a violent crash as Cochran slid out and then rode the nose, and his rear tire absolutely face punched Trevor Burns right there and hit him into the ground. Chaos ensuing there, and we've got a battle for first going on right now. Payson Johnson, just getting up from a crash, has just lapped Jaden Wilson. Seth Shirley and Hubbard are right there. Man, Hubbard has come from a long ways back to suddenly be in the thick of this thing for trying to win the race. And again, it's a lost cause because even if he wins with a dead last finish out of Eaglin, he still loses the title on a tie. But Eaglin is still way down in 17th. So, hey, I mean, Hubbard's going to get this championship very close in the end on points. It's not going to matter, obviously, but still nothing quite like ending the season with a win and just completely locking down second in the championship. He is going after Seth Shirley right now for second, putting the pressure on the 441 atom.com Kawasaki rider. Johnson still out front. And here comes Hubbard to the outside. Now squares off back to the inside. A little mistake for Shirley. And that might be all Hubbard needs. It is. He goes by into second. And now let's get some lap time checks in clean air. 47.6 for him, a 47.7 this time by. 47.4, his best lap time of the race. Johnson just did a 47.4 to pull it out to a 4-second lead. 46.1 was his best lap. So we'll get a lap time check this time by. We'll go on board with Johnson for a lap and see what it looks like from his perspective. Little tire tap in. He's still doing that consistently. Johnson carrying a lot of speed and now has opened this gap out over 5 seconds. So must have just been a small mistake out of Johnson that cost him some time, allowed those guys to close up. But he is now charging ahead again. And a 46.5 this time by. Let's see what Hubbard's able to put down. I think it's going to be another 47 here. It's actually a 48 flat, so lost over a second. Second and a half, actually, that last time by alone. And Johnson has now stretched this thing back out again. Contact between Whelan and Shirley takes them both to the ground back here. Sullivan now moves up into the final podium spot with his teammate Frank Jackson moving to fourth. Seth Garrett now goes to fifth, and Whelan remounts now in sixth. Seth Shirley is stuck in the Davalos bales. He's got to back out and go around the berm down by the Steve Mathis Memorial nets there. He's going to roll through here. Oscar Manias now has closed up behind him. Got Trevor Burns lapping Sem Weigman there. Here's Casey Cochran. Daniel Irvine, John Heilman back here. John Heilman getting block passed by Ethan Gerst, Seth Crotty, Aaron Rockefeller, Braden Tharp, Neil Fitzpatrick, Jaden Wilson, Tanner Thorson. We must have missed. He's somewhere in here. There he is. 250 East champ Colby Eagland has now found his way up to 12th. So he's trying to knock his way into the top 10 here. Cochran, a little mistake up the road, so that'll allow him to close up. Here's Johnson out front. weaving his way through some lap traffic. He's got 4 minutes and a lap left to go. And he will not only be your 250 West champion, he will be your 250 East-West Showdown winner. But Hubbard would love to say something about it. How about Luke Sullivan, though? Sullivan on the 18 Team Nami effort has closed that gap down to 47.4 to a 47.6 last time by. Gap is down to about a second, under a second actually, and they're into some lap traffic here. So this is going to help Sullivan's case as Hubbard tries to weave through the lap traffic, and Sullivan going to be hot on his heels here. Let's see what happens in this battle for second right now. Hubbard going hard onto the table off. Sullivan finessing behind him. Got a little bit blocked there by some lap traffic who was using the preferred line, so Sullivan had to step off the table very gingerly and not hit the ground too hard. But there was Hubbard down on the ground, and he's just now getting up from that crash. And alongside him, no, that is Tharp, a lap down, I apologize, in 20th. So Sullivan has now moved up into second, and hey, never a better time to win your first career main event than an East-West Showdown. He is going to need some help from your race leader, Payson Johnson, but as it stands right now, he has definitely potentially got a shot here to close this thing down. And down goes Johnson just like that, right on cue, and he's in an awkward spot right there too. So just as he gets rolling, no, that was not him. Here he comes, Luke Sullivan, over top in a battle for the lead. That timing, though, as Johnson hits the deck and suddenly Sullivan, looking for his first career main event win, has closed right up onto Payson Johnson for the lead. And we are about 2 minutes and a lap to go. So if Johnson has another big one here, Sullivan is going to be sitting real pretty. But at the moment, he has still got some work to do. Johnson trying to recover from that mistake. So far, so good. He's remounted well, putting in consistent laps again, or at least trying to, and has opened up a little bit of a gap. He's going to hit some lap traffic here, and this is going to be treacherous because these guys are in a bit of a battle themselves. That is Jaden Wilson and John Heilman, I believe, battling for 17th. Heilman just moves right out of the way. Wilson is racing, no doubt about it. Going to roll the finish line jump. Hopefully Sullivan doesn't land on him. Sullivan actually jumps off the track. I'm not sure if he thought maybe he was going to be in a spot where he might land on Jaden Wilson right there, but you can still see Heilman just ahead of him. So Heilman moves out of the way, and there was a mistake up the road there from Johnson as he cut through the tough blocks. So it looks like next time by, we're going to be coming to 2 to go, as we are now under a minute and a lap left. And Johnson trying to stamp home this East-West Showdown victory. But Luke Sullivan would love to say something about it for his first career win right here. Oh, and there's contact in the background. Sullivan getting caught up with that Heilman-Wilson battle that really just seemed relentless. Didn't see exactly what happened there. He's still going to get up in second, but that is likely cost him a shot at the wind. Because unless Johnson has a double fall off, there's almost no chance he catches him. And still, Wilson and Heilman are absolutely going at it right now. So Johnson, I think, going to breathe a sigh of relief right now. That battle that we thought might be going on for the race lead is now somewhat turned into a battle for second as Hubbard has worked his way up into the mix. Frank Jackson is still back here. So a good ride for both Team Nami efforts out here out of Sullivan and Jackson as they might get up onto the podium. They're going to look like the Lawrence brothers out here. Sullivan and Frank Jackson now running second and third for Team Nami. So Hubbard has to go back to the drawing board here with a lap to go and come up with a spot where he can make the pass here on Frank Jackson. And how long does he wait? Does he just go for it right away? Does he hit the whoops hard here? Yes, he does. Up the inside of Frank Jackson. Not close enough, though, and Jackson powers out around the outside. Now Hubbard is going to follow him to the outside here and get caught up in some tough blocks. Jaden Wilson still in the mix here. Just relentless with his pursuit of riders ahead of him. Sullivan getting away relatively scot-free ahead, but here it is, Payson Johnson. He wins your 250 West Championship this season. And he also wins the 250 East-West Showdown. Payson Johnson gets it done in Salt Lake City. Coming down to the flag here. Team Nami trying to sweep the rest of the podium here, and it's going to be Sullivan second, and Frank Jackson comes across in third. Hubbard will end up fourth. Bryce Whelan comes home in the 5 spot. Trevor Spencer will end up in 6th. Seth Garrett 7th. And Eaglin clawed his way all the way back to 8th in the end, and now is confirmed your 250 East champion for 2021. Oscar Manias ends up in 9th. Casey Cochran crosses the line 10th with Trevor Burns in 11th. Seth Crotty coming to the line here with Ethan Gurst. They're trying to battle it out for 12th right now. Let's see who gets there first. Oh, and Gurst sent it into the final turn, but in the end, it's going to be Crotty. So Fitzpatrick, first man, a lap down. Shirley, Irvine, Tharp, Thorson, Heilman, Wilson, Rockefeller, and Weigman round out the field here tonight in the East-West Showdown. Looks like Burns got around Cochran on cuts. And Frank Jackson got around Luke Sullivan on cuts. Holy smokes. Luke Sullivan with 5.4 seconds of cuts loses second, but still ends up on the box. And your 250 East-West Showdown winner is Payson Johnson for 2021 as he sits alongside his fellow championship-winning teammate, Colby Eagland. Panini Motorsports riders able to sweep the championships here in 2021. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we have finally reached the final step of this 2021 MotoOption Supercross Championship Series as the 450 main event, round 17, is about to commence here in Salt Lake City. Braden Carter on the precipice of winning his first ever 450 championship, indoors or out, on the heels of winning the 250 West Championship last year and trying to become the 5th different consecutive champion here in MotoOption Supercross, following Fresquez, Leclerc, Haley, and Seabolt ahead of him. Alrighty, who have you guys got tonight, chat? Who do you think's winning this finale? Who do you think is winning this championship? It's a 17-point gap between Braden Carter and Alexis Leclerc, and a reminder of the math. If Carter finishes 13th or better in this main event, he is the champion, period. Doesn't make a difference. If Leclerc finishes 6th or worse in this main event, then Carter is, again, the champion, period. No bones about it. It's that mix of if Carter finishes anywhere between 14 and 22 that Leclerc can have some wiggle room to play with. If Carter finishes 14th or worse with a Leclerc win, Leclerc is your champion. If Carter finishes 17th or worse with a Leclerc second, then Carter is your champion. If Carter finishes 19th or worse with a Leclerc third, then Leclerc is your champion, and so on and so forth down the list there. Basically, Leclerc needs to finish inside of the top 5 and hope for some type of disaster out of Braden Carter. Otherwise, this championship is wrapped up here right now in Salt Lake City in the favor of Braden Carter. And the final race of the season is brought to you by MX Simulator. The game we all play, we all love, has been around here for going on 14 years now that this game has been released, and still content being pumped out, and this series being ran every year. Terrific job again by the Race Factor Gaming track crew. But without MX Simulator, more specifically Josh Vanderhoof, none of this would be possible. MX Simulator captures that motocross feeling like no other game you've ever picked up, and Race Factory owes everything to JLV. Thank you again, Josh Vanderhoof, for all of the years and commitment that you have put into this game to make this series, all these series that are run through Race Factor Gaming possible, and give a lot of us here, not only the fans in chat, but myself racing the series for so many years, just hours and hours, I mean days upon days actually, of entertainment in this game. And yeah, crazy stuff that we've still been going at it here for the 12th year of the Supercross season in MX Simulator, and we owe so much of that to JLV and all the work that he's done. So if you are new and you would like to try this game out, head over to mxsimulator.com today. That is mxsimulator.com. You'll definitely want to get it from .com, and that's where you can officially get it. And JLV gets you hooked up with a copy of the game for $42, and then you have thousands of tracks, thousands of skins, you name it. There is so much stuff in this game for you to be able to do and play, and just been the cornerstone of the motocross gaming community for the last decades. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in every single year to watch these races. And not only is this finale brought to you by MX Simulator, this finale is brought to you by you fine folks at home, the fans of MotoOption Supercross that come out in bundles every single week, every single time on the live broadcast. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. And yeah, thanks to you guys, we're bringing you round 17 of MotoOption Supercross here in Salt Lake City. All right, well, it is time to crown a champion in this 450 class, and one final race stands between us. Let's drop the gate on the finale in Salt Lake City. A really good start for Carter. Not a great one for Leclerc. Carter gets to the corner first and tucks the front end. Leclerc went in for the kill but backed out of the challenge. Carter, a hole shot in the main event. He's got Seabull right behind him. Trent Adams in the mix. Leclerc trying to go over top and get into second right away, and it's done. Leclerc up into second. Let's see if we see any shenanigans here on the first lap of the race. Leclerc with the scrub from heavens right there to get right up behind Carter. Goes for the triple into the section and cases it. And now Leclerc going to get passed back by some of the riders he just got by. So was that the opportunity right there that Leclerc was trying to take? And will he maybe put Carter on the ground as well? Talked to Leclerc earlier today, and he admitted it is a long shot. I don't think he had any intention of forcing the issue unless it could be done. But he was in a spot there where he could maybe do something with Carter, and he's still in a spot where he could, as he's dropped back to third now. He got around Trent Adams. He's behind Ohlert, but Carter leads this main event. Both Leclerc and Carter are looking for their 5th wins of the season. Both of them would also have the most wins in 2021. Whoever wins this race, essentially. So how about Casey Ohlert out of the LCQ, finds himself right in the mix of this championship fight. But there is Leclerc with that triple quad line closed right up there on Ohlert. And I just want to go on board with the 2018 champ and see how this shakes down over the finish line jump. 46.5 first lap for Leclerc. He's all over Ohlert, and Ohlert doing a terrific job of defending this second place spot. But I think it's not going to be long before Leclerc gets up here and makes something happen. Already showing the wheel there to the 78. For what it's worth, Carter has not got away too far out front yet. Ohlert has definitely matched his pace. So let's see what Leclerc is able to do. He's electing not to go for the tire tap line. He was working on that a little bit earlier on tonight, but not doing it right now. Let's see if he still goes triple quad here. Yes, he does. Triple out of the corner. Landon's transition so smooth. Gets that quad just absolute butter. But honestly, Ohlert matched him that entire lap right there. 46.5, 46.6 out of Ohlert, 46.4 out of Carter. They're all matching the exact same pace out front in an absolute freight train at the front. There's still so many guys so close together, and Leclerc electing to go for this triple-double. Let's see if he forces the issue. Not just yet, but he definitely is much closer to Ohlert this time by on the first lap of the race. So Carter continuing to stretch out his lead out front. He is just trying to get away before Leclerc could do anything about it. And his best friend on the track right now is Casey Ohlert. Leclerc just cannot get around the 78 machine. This might be it right here, though. Trying to quad, and he lands on Ohlert, and they're both going to go down. Unbelievable contact for second place in this race, and it promotes Caden Speck into the 2 ride. It's Speck, Adams in third, Janice fourth, and Hall now up into the top 5, and an absolute freight train behind that. Look at all these guys mixed together as Leclerc gets up in the midst of all of this battling going on. And Leclerc, who was in a spot there for so long to try to make something happen with Ohlert, now is in a really tough spot here, trying to weave through some traffic. And I mean, it really is that traffic because there's just riders everywhere. It doesn't matter if it's for position or not. There is so much going on in this battle. As Jeremy Smith hits the deck, you got Tyler Lang mixed in here. Fjellberg, he was on the box last week. Yannick Mueller won a heat race tonight. And Leclerc just trying to get away from all of this. He's dealing with a lot of pressure right now from Castellaneta. I think Leclerc just doesn't quite have the flow going for him right now. I don't think he's in the zone that we normally see out of Leclerc. He is doing the big lines, and he's doing them pretty comfortably, but he's not really, I think, just looking as smooth and consistent as sometimes we see out of him. He's going to make a couple passes right there, so he's now gotten around. That was Adams and Logan Leitzel as Tyler Lang tries to close up. And saw this story last week. Lang and Leclerc both working their way forward, trying to catch Carter, who was leading, and Carter has really stepped up his game here in these last couple rounds to win last week and really put a stamp of authority towards the championship. Now again leading the main event here, and again Leclerc has caught back up to Ullert, and I'm wondering how patient he's going to be with him this time by. Up over the finish line, Jump going to try to get a drive in the whoops and just go up the inside. Yeah, not wasting too much time, just kind of gives a little nudge there to Ullert, and Ullert perfectly content to funnel in behind him now. So between them is Janice, Speck, and then Carter going the other way here. And 5 minutes into this main event, Carter is looking quite in control. And when it gets to the point of where he would basically lap up to a position that would lock him into the championship, you're really starting to think it's going to sway in his favor, of course, at that point. So Carter checks in at the end of lap 7 onto lap 8, and he is 15 minutes away from a championship in MotoOption Supercross. Caden Speck still sits in second place. Matthias Janis now running third. He's going to lap Jeremy Koenar right there. Casey Ullert has got back around Alexis Leclerc and is into fourth. Logan Leitzel's now fifth, and Leclerc has drifted back to sixth. He was just getting up from a crash after the finish line jump, so Leclerc really starting to struggle here with the crashing. Magnetti now runs behind him in 7th. Castellaneta is 8th. Cooper Hunt is 9th. And Austin Bear rounds out your top 10. 11th is William St. Laurent. 12th for Jeremy Smith. 13th, Dennis Fjellberg. 14th is Devin Davis. And 15th right now is Caleb Hall with 16th, Chase Blakely. 17th, Copeland. 18th, Mueller. 19th, Adams. And 20th is actually going to be Seabolt now going by on the 1 with Lang back there in 21st. Koenauer is a lap down. He is in dead last right now, and unfortunately for him, he's in a bad spot because he's going to get lapped by this freight train in quite a hurry. But there goes Carter. Here's Speck again, and Janice inside of the top 3. So Leclerc trying to regroup again, and I'm trying to see if anybody's really going with Leclerc, but Leclerc is kind of being the anomaly of this race where he's really riding an incredible pace, but he keeps crashing. So let's see if he can settle into something here. I think the last thing he wants is to just fizzle out here for this championship. I think he really, really wants to go up and win this main event and, at least spoil a little bit of the party for Carter because, I mean, a win and a championship, very much like we saw with Cooper Webb this weekend, would be massive for Carter. I think he's going to be pretty stoked to win the title regardless, but the win will also be huge on his resume to get the most wins in the season and really prove that he was the best guy. So Leclerc now 45.5, resets his fastest lap of the race, and is definitely closing that gap down right now into the 5 spot right there. And Leclerc's riding style is such that he can afford to do that triple-double, go inside and actually gain time because he's getting the power to the ground. He lugs the bike really hard. He's got a really soft rear suspension, rear shock, all that. So the bike really sits into the ground quite hard for Leclerc. And thus he gets traction really better than everybody else that you can see on the track. You'll notice it a lot coming down start straights, but Leclerc just so smooth at that triple-double line and affords him the opportunity to gain a little bit on his competition by going inside there as well. So 46.4 this time by. Lost a little bit of time there to Leitzel. Leitzel still trying to work up on Ullert, and Janice again trying to go for yet another podium here. Caden Speck running so strong right now in second. And, in first. Carter has gone down. So Braden Carter hits the ground, and his teammate goes to the lead. And this is going to open up the window of opportunity at least a little bit for Leclerc to get into the picture. Carter up and over the finish line jump now, trying to regroup from the crash that he had last time by and close up on his teammate. For either Speck or Janice, who are in the midst of this battle, and Casey Ohlert, who is running in 4th right now, any one of those guys, it would be their first career Race Tractor Gaming win, period. Main event in the 250 or 450 class for either rider. So this is huge right now for Speck to be leading this race. And curious to see how much Carter pushes the envelope, or maybe he tries to push his teammate into a win here. So getting the triple quad on occasion. Janice back here is electing not to. Then you got, Leitzel now just made a pass there on Ohlert. And Leitzel, a face of someone who has won a 250 main event before, but has not won a 450 main event. Definitely been close on occasions, though. And Ohlert now going to settle in behind him. And we're just about to the halfway point here. Almost 10 minutes into this 20-minute plus 1 lap race. And a mistake there. These two come together. Oh, my goodness. It's scary when you see them coming together like that. Because you got to wonder who's at fault then at that point. I mean, Leclerc would have seen Leitzel go in the wrong direction, but Leitzel's trying to re-get on the track the wrong way. So I would say that's Leitzel's fault. So Speck still leads, and now Janice has moved up into 2nd. Janice 2nd, Carter is now 3rd. Another mistake for Carter there. Casey Ohlert runs in 4th. And Leclerc is now up into 5th and closing back up on Ohlert as Leitzel had made another mistake. And Leclerc takes advantage of it. So we are now past the halfway point. Leclerc with a 46 flat last time by. He caught Ohlert by over 3.5 seconds alone last lap. So let's see what he does this time by. And I want to compare it with what Carter's doing, because Leclerc is still going triple quad right here. Insane, because that rut's getting a little bit deeper on that corner exit. And does a 45.6. Ohlert did a 47.2, so pretty much a second and a half faster there than Ohlert. And let's see how quick he can try to make a pass perhaps on the 78. Going to go triple, double up the inside. I think he's just going to try to really cut this position off here. Nice move for 4th. Now next ahead of him is Carter. It's a 3-second gap. And again, this is just bragging rights at this point. I mean, Carter in this position has just the championship pretty much all but locked at this point. So it's a 3-second gap, a 55.2 last time by, but that was with the crash. So let's finish off Carter's lap here and see what he's doing. He is going triple quad just like Leclerc. And he puts down a 47.4. Leclerc behind that, trying to lap Devin Davis. 45.7. So Leclerc almost 2 seconds faster that last time, and pretty close to matching his pace that he was running earlier on in the race. So let's see, 5-ish seconds down to Carter. And Carter, meanwhile, trying to close the gap down to Janice ahead of him in 2nd. And it's still Caden Speck leading this race, folks. Caden Speck on the 75 EVP Kawasaki out front. Weaving his way through lap traffic, looking like he's doing a tremendous job of that. Carter again going triple quad, and he is closed right up on Janice here in quite a hurry. Janice now electing not even to go inside rut right there, and so Carter suddenly has closed right up on the 130 and might already be going into 2nd. There it is. Carter back into 2nd place. So now, can he close the gap down onto his teammate? Well, another mistake right there. Janice going to go back by. Carter, more mistakes. And Leclerc is going to see that and sense an opportunity here. So who is going to win this finale? Caden Speck, Janice, both are looking for their first career wins. Carter looking for his 5th career win, 5th of the season. Meanwhile, Leclerc is looking for his 12th career win, I believe it will be, and his 5th of the season. Janice dealing with so much pressure from Carter, almost through the front door of the finish line jump. And Carter again charging the whoops so well. He's so smooth and efficient. Now let's see. Oh, he tried to triple in there, but jumped off the track. Just Same exact spot he made a mistake last time by. And Leclerc, oh, front end talk. Trying to figure out if that Castellaneta was getting lapped there or not. I think he is. So Leclerc still stayed there in fourth. Rider down. That is Cooper Hunt. And Janice and Carter both split him. So now we have got 6 minutes and a lap left to go. Here's Carter. Triple. Quad. And Janice tripling up the inside. Defends well. I think Janice knows that if Carter goes by him, he might be kissing his chance at a win goodbye. And at this point, he is just hoping something happens to Caden Speck out front, which it did. Caden Speck is now right in front of these guys. So it's Speck, Janice, and Carter nose to tail for the race lead. Just over 5 minutes to go here at Salt Lake City, the finale. And we have got a battle on our hands for the race victory here. And a mistake again from Speck. Here comes Janice. Matthias Janice for the race lead is taking it over. The 130 Moto Playground effort now still side by side with Speck. And we got dualies over the Supercross triple. And Janice takes it back. Now Carter's going to go triple in, go for the quad behind these guys. No, elects to triple double, but he's going to get around Speck, who made a mistake. Incredible action here as Janice leads the race on to lap number 20. 5 minutes and a lap to go. Here's Carter, and he takes Janice down. Carter goes down, but he stays on two wheels. And Caden Speck takes over the race lead again. Oh, man, that's not going to sit well with this crowd here. That might have been hoping for a Janice victory as Carter just punts him out of the way. And now we've got Leclerc v. Carter. Mistake for Carter. Leclerc goes by for second. And now Leclerc going to try to set sail and catch Caden Speck for the race lead. A mistake for Speck. And Leclerc, mistake. Oh, what a save by the 7. He was sideways in the background. Chase Blakely moves out of the way. And again, we've got Carter versus Leclerc. Speck is still right in front of these guys. And, oh, Carter right through the Steve Mathis Memorial nets off the track. So a mistake in the whoops, and he just decided to go straight forward, and a mistake for Speck. Battle for the lead into the first corner. Speck and Leclerc going at it. Leclerc has come from so far back to be in the midst of this battle. And he would desperately like to take this race lead. Up the inside, gets into Speck, and they both slide out. Speck is still sliding out off the side of the track, and Leclerc gets up with Carter right there, and Carter goes down through the front door. Janice to the side of the track, has to avoid him. Rolls the Supercross triple. Here's Leclerc for the lead. Not quite. Case the triple in. Speck still has the lead. Going on to lap 22, 16:40 on the clock, and Leclerc down off the side of the track. Caden Speck has the lead. And he's trying so hard to just establish a gap, and now he has one to work with, a 9-second lead at that. So let's see what he can do with it now. He's got to try to settle into a pace and hope that that pace is good enough to last him to the end of the race. He's trying to work around, is that Chase Blakely? Looks like on the BPC bike right now. Blakely moves aside, very nicely done. Ooh, mistake there for Speck. Just trying to keep an eye on him here. Here's Leclerc, though, in second. Slide out for Leclerc. Mistake and contact with Carter. That is going to open up the situation even more now for Speck to maybe get his first career win. It is Leitzel in second, but Speck had just gone down. He's getting up from a crash in the first turn. He was down in the rhythm lane, so here comes Leitzel. Leitzel and Carter. Who is going to win this finale, dude? What is going on right now? Janice and Leclerc just got together. They are still in it with a shot, though, and Leitzel now senses an opportunity for the win, and he came out of nowhere at this point. And Speck just jumped off the track. Here comes Leitzel for the race lead. in the whoops, and Carter's going to get a 2-for-1. Carter back to the front as Speck goes down. Unbelievable. Now Leitzel trying to square off the corner. Carter leads again in Salt Lake City. So it's Carter with Leitzel right behind him. Let's see what Leitzel does up the inside. Oh, I thought he was going to go for it. He just slid it into the corner, though. And Carter now trying to regroup. He's a minute away from being a champion, but he's trying to be a minute away from winning this main event as well. Gets triple quad again. And Carter under a minute on the clock, so I think we got 2 to go. Leitzel's still giving chase from behind. And Caden Speck is still right there. Leclerc wants a shot. Casey Ollert's having a fantastic race. Janis, I think Matthias Janis is going to be so mad at Brayden Carter after this race, and rightfully so. But I guess if you're Carter, you just thought maybe get him out of the way and try to go. But, I mean, you took yourself out too. Rule number 1 of a block pass is don't take yourself out as well. So Carter comes through, and let's see. This is going to be very close with the timer. We got 53, 54, 55, 56, and no, actually, time has not expired just yet. So now it is 2 to go as time just now expired. So it is going to be 1 lap to go next time by. There is 2 laps remaining in the 2021 MotoOption SX Championship. Carter trying to win his 5th main event of the season as a title clincher. Leitzel giving chase. Caden Speck, Alexis Leclerc all battling here. Carter has gotten through some lap traffic quite well, and that has been his benefit here because Leitzel still has to make it through. He is getting around. I think that's Caleb Hall there on the 561. And white flag is about to wave. A mistake, though. Carter didn't get the preferred option there. Leitzel isn't even going for the quad, though. And here we go. Final lap of 2021 is underway. Can Carter get another win? Can Leitzel win his first? Can Leclerc sneak up and win this thing somehow, some way? Or will we have a different first-time winner? There's so much up in the air. And meanwhile, Leclerc just gets punted off by Caden Speck. And that's going to cost Leclerc a chance at this victory. So Speck, playing a bit of a team player there, gets into the side of him. And Carter's just got a couple more turns to navigate here. What a way to do it. What a way to do it in style with that, as well as Carter is going to bring this thing down, pick up his 5th win of the season, which will put him as the most wins of the season. And on top of that, Brayden Carter is the 2021 MotoOption Supercross champion. He wins here tonight in Salt Lake City. Leclerc comes across in 2nd in the end, as something has drastically happened to Leitzel on that last lap of the race. He falls all the way back to 5th, so he's not even going to end up on the box. A surprise podium there out of Casey Ollert. Janis crosses the line 4th. Caden Speck ends up 5th in this one. Logan Leitzel 6th. Jeremy Siebold in 7th. Austin Bear now crosses the line 8th. Luke Magnetti 9th. Dennis Fjellberg 10th. Yannick Mueller 11th. William St. Laurent here in 12th. Carter beelining it across the track right there, but there is St. Laurent there in 12th, and Blakely will be the last guy, it looks like, on the lead lap here in 13th, and there is cuts to confirm it. Carter wins again here and brings home the 2021 title at Salt Lake City. Incredible stuff. 5th different season, 5th different MotoOption Supercross champion, and of course, many, many congratulations to Brayden Carter on getting this one done here tonight. Unbelievable night of racing, no question about it. We're going to try to get a discussion here with Carter, the newly crowned champion. I'm going to see if he is already available. And we'll talk to your newly crowned MotoOption Supercross champion. What a night of racing, though. Crazy, crazy stuff so far. And cannot believe what that boiled down to. And we'll get on a voice call here.
Howdy.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 MotoOption Supercross champion, Braden Carter. Welcome here to the broadcast booth. How does it feel?
Feels good, man. That race was a little sketchy, but we made it happen.
Yeah, it was close battling all the way through. Your teammate Caden Speck in the mix. There was some contact with Matthias Janis. It seemed like the lead was swapping hands every other lap there at the end of the race. What was your thought there during the end? Were you trying to win the race? Were you trying to just bring it home?
I wanted Caden to win that race. I wanted him to get his first win, but I did not mean to hit Matthias that hard. I apologize, Matthias, but I guess I just ended up gifted the win, so I'll take it.
You'll take it indeed. Well, 5 wins on the season. It's been a tremendous year for you. The battle with Leclerc. Just take us through your thought process through the season. Obviously, had a team switch mid-season from Swap Moto to your EVP program. How did it come about with you winning this championship? Like, when did you find out that the turning point was made and you felt like you could do it this year?
Well, definitely after I won my first race, I was like, oh shoot, I can do this more often. And then I got more confidence, and the win at Daytona, I really started catching up in points. And then I think at Orlando, Leclerc got 13th, so I was only 5 down. And I knew right then it was go time.
Well, you're the 5th different champion in 5 years of this series. For the last 5 years, we've had 5 different champions, and it's clearly not very easy to repeat as champions. So what is your mindset going into 2022? Is it going to be that easy to defend, you think?
I'm not sure. I just hope I don't bring back the no-win curse, honestly.
Yeah, the no-win curse was killing a lot of people over the last couple of years. But many congratulations to Braden Carter. I'm sure you're going to start celebrating yourself, your teammate Caden Speck, also having a great race there tonight. Thank you for joining us here on Start Your Systems, and congratulations on your 2021 MotoOption Supercross Championship.
Thanks for having me, man.
No problem. All right. Thank you so much, Braden Carter, for talking to us there. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series is behind us. Braden Carter is your 2021 champion, and a tremendous fight here at the finale for him to win his 5th race of the season and clinch the championship on top of that. Well, an incredible year, an incredible night of racing, and just incredible support all year long from you fine people at home. Thank you guys so much every single week for allowing me to come into your office, your bedroom, your living room, wherever you're watching the race here tonight. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by and watch these races every week. We don't have any information at the moment on when Nationals will start, but I will be updating you guys when that happens. We fully intend to stream the Nationals and most likely, I guess, the GPs if they happen right here on Start Your System. So you'll want to sit tight for that. And we'll bring you guys more information at that. But for Kellen Brower, for Jeremy Cohenauer, Race Factor Gaming, everybody at Race Factor Gaming that has put on the races all season long, and of course Josh Vanderhoof for providing the MX Simulator game, we want to thank every single one of you for showing up and watching this 2021 MotoOption Supercross season. And we look forward to bringing you guys more action coming into this summer for the Outdoor National. Thank you to all of our sponsors all year long. We'll give one quick final shout out, of course, to MotoOption Clothing, MX Simulator, Race Tech Suspension, Phil Ski and Snowboard, Underground RC, OG El Paco on Twitch, and MXS Lobby, along with our Jerky coming on board with us here on Start Your Systems to end the season. Again, thank you guys so much for all the support all year long, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the outdoors here in a few weeks' time. So this is Kellen Brower signing off, and thanks for watching the 2021 MotoOption Supercross Series. Bye-bye, guys.